In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Elgato HD60 S+. We'll talk about some of the advantages it has over the HD60 S, what the two have in common, and a few things the S Plus can still improve on. So let's go ahead and get started. What's up everyone, my name is Noble and I hope you guys are having a good day. Before we get started, I'd like to know, are you guys ready for next gen? Which console did you pre-order and what game are you most looking forward to? Also, if you guys have any questions or want me to cover something specific, drop them in the comments. And as always, if you find this video helpful, please click on the thumbs up and subscribe. It would really help me out. Okay, so the Elgato HD60 S Plus is definitely the Elgato capture card you want to go with if you're fully ready for next gen. Now what I mean by that is that you already have a 4K TV or monitor and you're getting a next gen console. If you don't have a 4K setup, which means you're still playing on a 1080p setup, then I'd highly recommend picking up the Elgato HD60 S, and we'll cover that in another series. So why is the Elgato HD60 S Plus the way to go over the HD60 S? Number one, it can record in HDR10. Number two, it has 4K 60 pass-through. And number three, it can record easily in 1080p 60 FPS. So what this means is that with the S Plus, you can actually see what you're meant to see. So for those of you that don't know, if you have a 4K screen and you've got an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 4 Pro, you can actually use the S Plus to actually see in true 4K. If you're using the Elgato HD60 S, even though you have a 4K TV, even though your console is capable of pushing out 4K images, what you're actually getting whenever you use the regular S is a 1080p screen on what you're playing. With the S Plus, you can truly game in 4K while still being able to record a crisp and clean 1080p picture. Now all of these features are dependent on your PC hardware, of course. For full system requirements, check the description. I've left a link for you guys down there to go and check out, but for the most part, that's it though. Those are the only differences between the S Plus and the S. And for those of you that are truly ready for next gen though, that is enough. Everything else is pretty much the same. Both the S Plus and the S have USB 3.0. They're both roughly about the same size. They both support all the same types of game consoles, and they can both record and stream at 1080p 60 FPS. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that I feel the S Plus could work on. While the HD60 S Plus will allow me to play in 4K and record and stream in 1080p, it still is being updated and it's missing some of my favorite things that the HD60 S had, which is why I highly suggest the S to more people. In my opinion, it's got a better UI. So the HD60 S Plus does not have an audio slider for game capture or party chat like the S did. Now you're still going to be able to capture your game, you're still going to be able to capture party chat, but if you want to edit those sounds, if you want to turn them up or down, you're going to have a separate editing software. It also does not have an editing area like the S did in case you want to cut out some of the content, which means once again you'll have to have a separate editing software for that. You also can't stream directly from the S Plus like you could from the S, or add a face cam to the software, which is fine because most people are going to be using the S Plus with OBS anyways. You can't share clips directly from the S Plus. Again, you'd have to edit your own clips and then share those to other social media like Twitter, Instagram, or anywhere else you might want to post. And if you want to capture in VR, at least in my experience, the aspect ratio is a little bit weird. So as you guys can see, there are still a few things the S Plus could do better, but it's still your best option if you want to get the best out of next gen while still being able to capture great content, and it's definitely what I'm going to be using whenever I get my PS5 and my Series X. Now in the next few videos we'll be going over some of the easy stuff, some of the basics, but if you guys have any questions at all, if you're having any issues with the Elgato HD60 S Plus, or if you just want me to cover anything in general, please feel free to leave those down in the comments below. And as always, we will see you guys on the next video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.